he hits the stage, yeah, the whole room glows. He's the spark that starts the fire
Oh,
everywhere he
yeah.
goes.
This is not the Afrobeat
Highway
Music
6,
Talk Radio.
riding tonight, love Bay Radio. We're feeling alive.
Woo!
Turn the dial up, let the music hit. Toronto in the groove on Highway
Highway 6.
6.
Yes, Highway 6 to Africa Coast. Coming your way from now the Afrobeat Music Talk Radio. Oh, no, we're African Caribbean Online Radio. Highway 6 to Africa. Written.
Petra brings a
Ron,
soul
Ron is right.
with a voice so
Yep.
true.
Hi, Ron. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing fine. How you doing, TYB?
Not bad, not bad. That's great music.
I know it's good song.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Well,
Yeah,
how
my
are you?
yeah, I'm doing fine. It's a really crappy day here on the West Coast, I tell you. In terms of weather, really, really wet and really blowing on our end of my end of the island. So it's sort of an inside day today. So I might as well spend some time with some special company.
You telling me that you've been having some the rains or something?
Rain, yeah, a lot of rain and blowing about 80 kilometers an hour.
God has not been fair to us, you know.
And
Yeah.
do you have snow still there?
Yes, it's snow on the ground, snow everywhere, you know. It's
Hmm.
sometimes it's so depressing, but all the
Hmm.
we're looking forward to that great Olympic showdown.
Oh yes. Hey, yeah, I know.
It was a pity that our women lost yesterday.
Yeah, it was a great, great game. No question about it. But when I saw the goal come in, I just thought, oh, shut the TV off. I don't want to see this.
That's right. Sometimes, you know, you just want your heart to relax, right?
Yes, I know. Very tense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, I'm a Man U fan, and prior to having a new coach, I stopped watching them. I stopped because sometimes they will be leading and they will blow it, and you
Mhm.
never knew when they were going to win the game. Or
Mhm. Mm.
I stopped watching it. So I don't like the nail biters.
Yeah, well, they're tough. They
You
are really tough. I tell you though, there's something that John Cooper, the coach for the Canadian hockey team, said. He said, we are in the entertainment business, and if that wasn't entertainment, I don't know what was. So he's got a good point. Whether you win or you lose, it doesn't really matter because I know a skater from the United States yesterday who won the. Oh, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before. It doesn't matter. However, she won the gold medal in figure skating for single figure skating. It's hard to pull
know.
out.
Yeah.
And she had such a good attitude. And her attitude was it's not about winning or losing, it's about how you go about doing it, basically. And that you enjoy it and that you love it. It's not winners and losers here.
Yeah.
It's because they're all great, great athletes. There's no question. And sometimes it's just a matter of whether the coin flipped right on that day for you, and the next day it could be totally different. So,
Yeah, even
um,
being selected by your country is good enough.
yes, exactly.
It's good
And
enough.
I know our prime minister has been really good. He's talked to all of the winning, I think all of them now, all of the people have won gold in a personal chat with them. And which just to say how proud Canada is of you and the work you've done. He hasn't contacted every medal member that I know of, but he has contacted all the people who've won gold, and they each one of them seems very I'll say not even humble to be contacted by the prime minister, but also I think it's so good that that he's contacted them just to say how much we appreciate what you did, and we're so proud of you as a country. So that's just good stuff.
It
That's just
is. It is. It is. To just that. Like you rightly said, there are no winners and losers. It's like attending award shows and stuff like that. Being nominated alone for thousands and thousands of good artists who may be even be better than you,
mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And who have not been discovered yet or haven't been highlighted yet. to be nominated, it's quite an honor. So I mean, like it's fine. We congratulate everyone who went in there, everyone
Yeah.
from
And
A.
often, yeah, often the winners are even those who say, they don't even, sometimes they even say, I don't even think I should have won, because there's, look at the people I was up against,
Mhm.
um, and standing on stage. And I am so thankful to be up here. But you know what? Everybody to me is equally, anybody gets nominated. We had a Canadian jazz singer that was voted in for the Grammy. She had to nominate herself, fill out the form and everything. And she got onto, I don't know if what category, whether it's jazz, but some of the artists that she was up against, I just thought, holy cow, you're up against five or six other big wig names, and you got onto that list. Man, that in itself is just speaks for itself,
Yeah,
because they listened to her album and they said, "Hey, this is right up there with the best of them." She didn't win, but I tell you, just the experience itself was probably worth more than even the medal, the trophy you could have won was probably worth more than that. I can't speak for her, but I can just say I can only imagine.
yeah. Ron, was it this year's nominations or this year's?
I was this year's Grammy Awards.
Yeah, I think. There's been a lot of it's a great thing that you brought it up. There's been a lot
Hmm.
of controversies around it as to how labels are able to manipulate. As a matter of fact, there was one of the um, people who oversee the nominations and stuff like that. She came and blew it out that labels control some labels control what needs to be, put on there. But I think if that has come around, it means they are sort of opening it up for
Hmm.
people like her
Hmm.
to be put there to compete with the so-called the best. So
Hmm.
one way or the other, something has opened up for the nomination process to be very open, to be very
Hmm.
fair, so that that may be how she got on there. And like I'm saying, there are some great artists out there who have never been discovered, who have never been given a chance to show what they can do as artists. But it's
Hmm.
always the wherewithals, if I can put it that way, who are always going out there. But of late, we've been knowing, or we've been discovering that some of the so-called the wherewithals have been getting bots to push out the numbers
Hmm.
for them to stay where they are. So you know what? Kudos to that lady and
Hmm.
every artist out
Yeah.
there. So there's nobody that. I mean, being an artist, going into the studio, putting things together, it's not easy.
No, it's
It's not
not.
easy at all. It's not easy at all. Like we've been saying. Well, I think Ron. It seems a lot of people have been listening to our show
Oh, well,
because because over the
because.
past year we've been a year and a half we've been talking about AI and stuff
Hmm.
like that, and it seems it's gotten to a lot of people. And to buttress it up, our show with Amira garnered
Hmm.
a lot of listenership. It's going to over 10K and stuff like that. Because
Mm.
we diverted into AI and all those kind of things. I think a lot of artists are sending up to look at themselves and say, hey, what the heck is going on?
Hmm.
Is the music industry changing that fast? What is actually going on when it comes to AI, copyright laws, and stuff like that? I'm saying this to say that it's still ingrained in ingrained in my brains that is that sometimes if you don't feel like writing anymore, and that has this is the second time I'm bringing this up. What do you think about this AI content or copyright and all these kind of things that have come to be played around?
Yeah, I thought a little bit about this, and I know I've made that statement, and I can't say I've changed my mind at all from saying that I'm just right now. I can say the best thing for me right now is I'm putting the writing on hold. The writing, the producing, all of that, I'm putting on hold. until AI sort of works its way through our system enough to say, this is what's happening and this is where it's headed, I don't think it'll be around in terms of it could, as I heard, I think one of the videos you shared with me could take 80% of the jobs in the music industry, which is true because it could have, it can write songs, it can produce them, it can, mix master, it can do the whole works for you. You don't have to do much more than press buttons. So to me, that's just too easy. So in saying that, I'd rather do something that for me is more challenging, and I'd have to say more rewarding too, because I find that lately I've been doing a lot of writing out a lot of charts, music charts, and I find that way more rewarding because I'm getting a lot of it's all for musicians who really play music and or wanting to learn or wanting to get better or musicians that are way up there. I was talking to one the other day and he's one of New York's best studio musicians and he's saying how much he loves the work I'm doing and you know what, to me that in itself is worth way more than what I'm seeing or what I'm getting for satisfaction for writing music right now, which is just it's just not there because I can write I've written songs in AI and I've shared them with people and they're just going, that's, man, that could be a hit. And then I want to say, sorry, but I didn't even really write that. I mean, sure, I know how to write how a form of a song works and how, and that helps. And I understand the theory behind it and arranging, but and that'll get you a better song. And I love putting in a bridge and I love putting in guitar solos or piano solos or trumpet solos or whatever. I like doing all that, except it's just too easy. It's a button press here, just copy paste here, copy paste there, boom, done. Hey, there's my great song. So to me, that's just too easy. Great songs to me um, are written by people and they will because and the other thing I've noticed is that AI songs are too perfect. Too perfect.
Yeah.
They're not human enough.
Yeah.
They're not human enough. Somebody pointed out, I mean, I noticed, and I'm sorry I'm chatting, but I'll go on all day about this. But the thing that I've noticed is like as I pointed out in the Charlie Puth song, I heard the guitar going back and forth because I could hear it sliding, and I knew that it was either hired. Charlie either hired a guitar player, and he might even be good enough to play the part because it's pretty simple. Because you can hear the slides in the recording, and I just hear them, and I just know that okay, there's a human playing this. If it wasn't, if that was AI would have taken the slides out because I don't hear those in AI. I hear perfect guitar, too perfect. And that's not how humans work. So to me, I'd rather hear human imperfection. It sounds so strange to say that. Human imperfection, I'd rather hear that than I would just something that's too perfect to be good. And sure, you can get off, you can like them. And I think some of them are really great. But and I played along with some. Sometimes just to do ear training, I will put on an AI song that I put together, and I'll just try and figure out what key it's in, and I'll be playing my bass along with it and going, okay, it's in this key, okay, it's in E flat, let's E flat, but I know that rock musicians really don't like the key of E flat, so this was not going to go that well.
Mm.
They like open chords and open keys and like E's and A's and D's and G's and stuff like that and C's, but they sure don't like E flat. And when I listen to it, I'm going, no, this is an E flat minor. There's not many songs that are rock songs or pop songs are rarely ever in that key. So to me, it's all too perfect. Your thoughts on this, sir?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like we've been saying, the way it is going, it is it's quite chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know where it is going because it seems the labels and the streaming companies have come together to say, hey, you know what? We used to pay you, we used to do this for you, and now we can replace you. We can replace
Mm-hmm.
you.
Yep.
That is why we are in a quandary as to where we are going. And who owns AI generated content? Uh, um, like in the US, according to the US Copyright Office. It says copyright protects human created works, right?
Hmm.
Two, content created entirely by AI without human creative input is not copyrightable, right? The third one
Okay.
is if a human meaningfully contributes, example, editing, selecting, arranging, modifying AI output, those human created portions can be protected.
Or even if you write your own lyrics.
That's right. And there's an
I've heard that.
example, typing a simple prompt, likely no copyright.
Hmm.
Or example, heavily editing and transforming the result. Possible copyright for your contribution.
Hmm.
It is not clear cut. It is it's more confusing than anything. And I don't know where it's going to end, where we are going to get clear cut sort of explanation as to which way the whole thing is going to go. And in the Great Britain, in the United Kingdom, right, under the UK Intellectual Property Office, it says computer generated works with no human author can still receive copyright.
Hmm. Hmm.
Two, the author is considered the person who made the necessary arrangements for creation.
Hmm. Hmm.
Number three, protection lasts 50 years, shorter than standard copyright,
Fair enough.
right? So it seems in one jurisdiction is saying something that may be similar, but they are not the same.
No.
The two that I've just given is so confusing. So I don't know. Well, I have another one that I can share with you and the listeners. And the other one that I see here is EU. That's in the European Union. The European Union generally requires a work must reflect the author's own intellectual creation. Number two, pure AI output without human necessity likely does not qualify. You see where we are.
Hmm. Very confusing.
It is very, very, very confusing. My question is, has it been created that way for people to get, for artists to get frustrated, not knowing where to go by the label? Because the way I see things right now, it seems labels are merging or suing each other for to control a turf,
Mm.
or they are sort of purging what is copyrightable and what is not copyrightable, what is AI, how AI fits into certain areas. That is where my confusion or my confused state is. Any comment on that, please?
Mm. I can see the confusion because
Hmm.
when you are here in Canada or wherever you are, I know we have SOCAN, there's BMI and ASCAP where you register your songs to be, copyrighted. And my question is, if you say I wrote this song, how are they going to ever say that you didn't? And it can't. And as soon as they copyright it, then by law you do have it. And it takes about, I find, about 2 weeks to for SOCAN to look through your song and to make sure. I don't know what they go through. I don't know what the process is. I just know it takes about 2 weeks to do, and then you get a note back saying yes, your song is now registered with us. So when doing that, okay, so if I wrote a song and I sent it into SOCAN and I said, here's, and you don't even have to provide an audio. You just have to provide a name and who wrote it so they know who gets the funds and who's how the funds are divided up. So I've recorded with artists and it says 50-50, or it might be three of us. And I remember it being weird because we got 30-30, one person got 34, just to make 100. So that that's there in itself saying it's copyrighted, but then from there is like, is SOCAN going to say something different, or is one of the platforms going to say no, this can't be copyrighted? No, it is copyrighted if you send it in. They don't even listen to it. So because there's probably too many files, too many people sending in daily requests to have songs copyrighted, and they just want to make sure that, I guess, that, I don't know, that you're really the writer. I don't know. I don't even know how they prove that. So that's, to me, that in itself is really really confusing. I have not ever sent a song in that has anything to do with AI, just because I don't know where things are going. Don't know how we're going to deal with all this. So all the songs that I have ever on any music platform are all written by me. So don't sweat that, folks. But I wouldn't know what to do with one where it has another singer. I could put another singer on my songs, and she'll have a dynamite voice, and they'll be, be half decent production, and everything will be good. But then who's to say it's not yours? I don't know. It's, to me, and with you, and as you're pointing out, different places are are taking this all differently. So to me, this is another reason once again to say I don't feel like writing right now because it's too confusing. It's too up in the air. You can go even onto Spotify right now and look up AI songs, and there's thousands of them, thousands and thousands. And that's the other thing I find very difficult. And this is why I saw you sent us some posts as well, TYB, about radio being the one to come around again. And I think it's because personally, I just find there's too much music out there. You even have there's platforms or there's groups in Facebook where
Hmm.
it's called original artists, and nobody wants to listen to anybody else's songs. They just want to share their own.
That's right.
And so I kind of think, all right, that means there's too much music out there. That's
Too
my
much.
feeling is there's just too much,
Too much.
too much. And I tend to go back to all the artists that we used to listen to as kids because that's the stuff that you put on an album and you listen to the whole album. You can see you put the needle on the record player and you went and listened to the whole album right front to back, and then you turned it over. And I mean, I remember as learning guitar and even taking the needle and go repeat, repeat, pulling this needle back and forth on a section of a song. Repeat that, repeat, repeat, or a tape deck doing the same. Rewind, play, rewind, play, rewind, play, rewind, play. Because I wanted to hear the song, but that was whole albums. And I listened to a singer that song was on the Olympics last night, and she had a great voice. And then I checked her out, and she only has a few songs on Spotify, not even an album. And I thought, wow, I don't want to listen to this person. There's one song, two songs. I just thought this is nothing. So what? I mean, it was a good song, but no album. I'd rather hear the whole album. Let's hear everybody playing. So to me, it's confusing, very confusing, and not really showing any level of rewards of any sort. And you better not be writing music for the money. I tell you, do it for the enjoyment.
Oh, I mean, and that brings us to the gentleman who created the streaming app, who I think I shared it with you, who is saying
Hmm.
that streaming is coming to an end.
Yeah. Well, and I'm curious to know if that's the case.
It is. It is. It is coming to an end, and he's suggesting that, like, the labels are telling you what they want you to, what they want people to hear, without you getting any compensation. Yeah, they can tell you, oh no, we don't want that, and those are. It has been going on for a long time. So, actually, he is advocating that I think is it YouTube. I stand corrected. And TikTok, they are forming an alliance where artists. He's suggesting artists can promote their music on TikTok, where people can go and listen to the whole track, right? Listen, promote themselves and listen to the whole track. And this is where radio comes in. If you want to, put your an added kind of promoting your music, then radio is there. Then the breakdown will be now people's attention span is not like 2 hours, 3 hours, maybe 3 minutes. They'll just come and listen to it, and then boom, I just want to listen to it, and then just go my way. So it's like now streaming is going out. Now what is so confusing? What I'm scared of is that in the not too distant future, I will not be surprised that. Even to go and listen to music on TikTok and all that stuff, you have to pay for it because you may have no other choice. You want to listen to that, pay for it.
Well, that's kind of like YouTube is. If you want to skip the ads and stuff, you have to pay for it.
That's right.
However, the thing I did and I said, and I think Petra agreed with me on this, and that was when you gave us a post about that, saying this. I wonder about the thing that, I mean, I used to sit at the radio sometimes and listen for hours and hours on end, waiting for that one great song that I love so much. Just loved it. I just want waiting for this song. Hope they play it again soon. Well, nowadays you can just go on instantly onto YouTube and play it 50 times if you want. So that to me almost ruins music. In that, I mean, as I say, video killed the radio star, as the song says. And it's in many ways true because now too, and this has been going on for years and years and years, and that is it's always been what you look like, as the one of the most foremost important things, how sexy you are, how well you, how much of your body you show in all these videos. And yet there are some great musicians, don't get me wrong, who don't need to do that. They are just out there performing great music. However, it's just too easy to listen to whatever you're wanting to. It just comes instantly, instant satisfaction, instant, and I don't like that, I guess. But at the same time, I'm glad it's there because I can listen to a song as many times as I want. But I don't know. Does that ruin it? I don't know.
It's you know what, I think artists will have to sit down. Now we are all in a panic. We are all in a confused state. Um, it's like back in the day, you just go out there, go out there, and you have Ron's music there, neatly wrapped. Go into a record shop, you see the CD. You're so, if you are the author, you are the artist. You're so excited. You're just looking to see who is going to pick up your CD, and they are looking at it, and maybe there might be about two or three tracks on it that you know that was there. But today it's not like that. If you put a whole track, a whole album, then nobody's going to listen to it. They're
True.
just listening to just one track that has been put out there by the label, or that you think it should be the hit. Now it's not being determined by the listener, but you, the artist, because that's what you want to put on social media, as opposed to just giving it out there. Back in the case, we just put something out there. You're listening to cases tracks and say, oh, this is good. And you know what? No matter what the DJ says, if you like one track there, that's what you want because you have it right in front of you, right?
Hmm.
So it's like now things have changed, and we are in a panic. As artists, we are in a panic, and we don't know where to turn to. And the question now comes to: can you sell an AI generated content?
Um, I, I, I sure wouldn't want to, because I would feel guilty. In one, it's not me. It doesn't have my playing on it. That wouldn't. It doesn't have the feel that maybe I wanted, or maybe it does. I don't know, but to me, it's not satisfactory. I mean, satisfying. It's just not. It's just to me, it's like push a button. Okay, congratulations, you wrote a song. To me, that's like, so what? I know that when I mean, I've got all this gear around me in my studio, um, and when a song comes together, it's me playing. I'm playing the keyboards, or I'm playing the drum tracks and doing stuff like that, putting the bass in there. But I, I don't get any satisfaction out of pressing buttons on a computer, other than ones to press and say, "Hey, let's listen to Love Bay Radio." But it's just not. It's not satisfying, and I not only is it not satisfying, but if I got money for it, then I'd be even worse off for that. I'd be thinking, okay, so you're paying me to do nothing or push a button. I don't know. It's confusing. And it is. You're right. It is so confusing. If I would, yeah, I think that I'm still going to promote people to learn an instrument, folks.
Yeah.
Learn an instrument. And you know this as well. You and I both strongly agree with this. Learn an instrument. Learn to sing, do those things because we're still always going to want. I hope that we are always a social group of people who want to see real people on stage. And as long as that's the case, we're always going to be playing hopefully live for people. And there's no, to me, I find there's no more satisfaction than playing in front of people that are going, yeah, or encore, and they keep clapping and clapping and clapping to so you until you walk on the stage again. So to me, that's satisfying. I love that. But writing right now, it's just got me going. So yeah, okay.
Can you sell an AI generated account? You usually can sell it, but you may not own the exclusive copyright.
Yeah, that's all in the air.
And
That's
platforms
weird.
have their own policies, right?
Yeah,
And then you are responsible if the output infringes someone else's copyright.
yeah.
You know,
I
Rod, it's not easy. So I think, like we've been saying over the past year and a half, that I think artists have not done their homework well. They have not foreseen, or they didn't foresee this coming. Like Blockbuster just sitting down there for Netflix to come and swallow them up, right?
mm-hmm.
They didn't see the technology coming, and that now it is all around us. There's a pushback, but apart from the pushback, we are being careful as to not to infringe on so many different areas where we don't even know. The labels themselves don't know. That's why they are suing each other. Every day there's
Yeah.
a lawsuit against that one. That one is suing that one. That one is suing that one. And they are also forming conglomerates, right? At the expense of the artist. The artist is just sitting down there. Everything is going around them, and they are just looking around and see where things are going to stop. But we don't see anything going on right now where artists will say that you know what, um, I'm controlling what I want to control. But just you rightly said, artists will now have to go out there to perform. If you want to make
Mm-hmm.
money, writing music right now, you just have to put a pause on it and to see where things go. Because, like you rightly said, we had an interview with Conscience, one of the top what dancehall and soca artists. During the COVID,
Mm-hmm.
we had a conversation with him. COVID time, we asked him, "So, what were you doing during COVID?" He said he wrote 70 tracks, 70,
Mm-hmm.
70. And
Mm-hmm.
he's one person. What about the others who were not doing anything? So there's a glut of music in the system, right? Some of them may be good, but a majority of them, I mean, I cannot release one song today and then next week I release the other another one. I'll be competing among myself, between myself,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
between that track and that track, and somebody else is also releasing, and I'm fighting two different or three different kind of or four of thousands of fronts. So where do we go from here? As artists, we have to sit back and think of what we need to do. If you want to make money right now, go out there to perform. That will
You
be
know,
only redemption for you until
yeah.
things settle. Form your groups, or even to go back there, like I've been advising people, trademark your names, trademark everything that you own until
Yeah.
things settle. Because if you put some things on Spotify and others, you've signed your death warrant, so to speak. So to speak. Um, you don't control it anymore.
Yeah.
They
You know,
can mix it, they can remix it, they can do
mhm.
whatever they want to do with it without they having an input as to how you plan your stuff in the studio, how much you were charged, and all those kind of stuff. So, what do you have to do? Trademark your name, trademark your image, trademark whatever you have to trademark, and go out there to perform and perform. You make money right at the gate. If you have five people there who came to pay, that money is in your pocket.
Yeah, how can I disagree with that? You know, I'm thinking of something while you're saying this. I'm thinking my mind is going probably too fast. And that is, I wish that, um, I don't know, this is just a thought. I'm wishing that music platforms wouldn't allow you to release just singles. They maybe like before they would you could release a single or two from an album that's coming up, which used to happen a lot. That's fair, because here's one song from the album, but then they wouldn't accept it without knowing an album was coming. In other words, you were only allowed to release albums with singles coming up every once in a while. I mean, for the, as the sort of the showcase sort of it, because that way we would probably see a lot more people. I don't want to say go into hibernation. That's not the word I'm looking for, but at least people spending a lot more time, hopefully recording an album. Some albums get recorded in 2 weeks. And I just, when you see some of the best albums, I know I was reading a really good book by a mixing engineer who is a Grammy winning engineer. And he said that when he was working with Steely Dan, they spent about, I think it was 6 months recording all the music for the one of the, I think it was AJA. I might not be pronouncing that right, but I think it's a great album by Steely Dan. And it they at one point they stopped, and the two guys from Steely Dan said, now we need about 6 months because we want to go and write the lyrics for this. So we'll see you back in about 6 months, and we'll get together again and we'll do all the vocal tracks. It took them that long because they needed to think through things, get to the best lyrics they could possibly do. And maybe they needed time for other things. Maybe they need time off after doing recording sessions just to go, okay, now let's get into the writing. And that album took over a year to write. And but it won a Grammy because it was so good. It was so good. Steely Dan is such a great group. So I wish that that would still be the case, but today it's now, 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 now. I want it now. I want it now. Can you give me another hit? Oh, I like your song here. And then 2 weeks later, they come up with another one. To me, that's not enough thought. And I'm hearing, here's one of the things that I try and do in the AI songs. I try and not fool it, but I try and make it think. And I'm missing one really important part of songs, and it's called the bridge. And I know Sting was talking about this, I think, with a fellow named Rick Beato, and anybody in the music industry has heard of Rick Beato. But, and he says that songs are missing a bridge today. A bridge is the part where everything changes. And most people aren't doing this today because they're using loops and loops and loops, and they just go over and over and over and over and over the same chords again and again and again. But the bridge is what changes everything. He said, Sting says, I don't even think I could write a song without one because that's where I go, oh, a change. Finally, something different.
That's right.
And what I'm not hearing too, this is my other pet peeve, and I have AI do this too. I just tell it to. I'm missing solos. I'm missing music. I'm missing the instruments, the solos, the trumpets, even there's even some songs where there's drum solos. But any instrument, a trumpet solo out, it doesn't matter what it is, but there's just something about that human feel that where the lyrics can go, take a breather. And I don't find lyrics are doing that enough today. We're not taking a breather. You don't have to sing all the way through it. I find so many people are singing right from the very second the song starts. They're going, ooh, and doing all the oohs and ahs and all this stuff. No, please stop. Just sing when you're supposed to sing. You don't have to have vocals in every second of every song. I'm sure somebody's going to disagree with me on this, but I love when vocals take a break. They kind of go, oh, thank you. Thank you. And there's a guitar solo or whatever, just something that says, here's differences. And that's one of the things I am missing so much in songs today that I used to hear. Used to always hear this part and I go, oh man, that changed. Oh, and look at that solo there. That Roger Waters solo in a Pink Floyd song. I mean, that is just like the outro of what's called a song called Another Brick in the Wall. If you listen to that, the last 2 minutes of it are just an incredible guitar solo. And I just listen to that and I go, wow, man. Or if anybody's ever listened to a song by Mark Knopfler or by Dire Straits and it's called Sultans of Swing, that guitar solo at the end is knocked me out. Anybody who's a guitar player who's played and studied music has probably looked at that song sometime and gone, oh yeah, I got to learn that one because the solo in it that Mark puts in there is just incredible. And I'm missing this. This is something about music that I'm missing today.
Bohemian
Is
Rhapsody. Bohemian Rhapsody.
oh man, Queen, that song that took a lot because of all
Woo!
this. Listen to all the vocal
Woo!
harmonies alone in it. You know, wow.
That was
But
music.
yeah, exactly. And stuff that I'm kind of going, yeah, this has got some feel to it. And I don't put the song on and it's exactly perfect to the beat. I tell you, over the last while, I can go on, but I've ripped a lot of songs apart in terms of taking them and I take out the bass track out of them just so I can hear the bass track, and then I transcribe. It's called you transcribe and rewrite out the bass part so people can learn the parts. Big deal. It's not that. Is that when you put the song in there and you put it into your DAW, the first thing I always notice is not in time. It's not in perfect time. It's just anything before the 90s was it couldn't be because they had musicians who were playing real music and that couldn't be played perfectly in time. And I've had people even say to me, "Oh yeah, we play with the click track on stage," and I just think, "Ooh, so that's means that you're playing too perfectly." It means what happens if the audience loves the song and you want to play it longer? Nope, no can do. So there's a lot of things I see happening in today's music, especially since the beginning of the DAW, the digital audio workstation on your computer. It's just everything has to be perfect in time. I'm not hearing what's called the retardando. Anybody in music knows what a retardando is, often called a rit. It means a slowing down section. And it's just like you hear at the end that it slows down, and then bang. It's going, those aren't happening. What I'm hearing is a gate cut off the end of the very last section. Boom. I was listening to a song the other day. It was released in 2022, 2023 actually, and I heard it, and it just the very end, the last note was just stop. I thought this is weird, but these are just things I'm missing in music today because we're using. I call them.
There,
It's
it's not there. People want to do it quick and then go on social media and because that one Ron did. I have to. Oh no, and then they put it right there. I was talking about the Bohemian Rhapsody from A to Z. You see orchestral. You have
oh
different kinds of this. I don't know the genius of my favorite. Oh man, you know that was music. They,
yeah
I don't think it took them maybe 2 3 days to do it. It might have been
no
planned way ahead of time. But when they went in there, no computers, they did it. Boom, live recording and stuff like that. I believe in live recording, right?
oh me too
Time, take my
yeah
time. I have done a recording that is about 4 5 years now.
hmm
I want to get it right,
hmm
right. And today it's not like that.
no
Go in there because AI has even come to spoil the whole soup, right?
hmm
Just go in there, boom, boom, boom. Let me put it, let me. No, it's done it for you, but there's no actual sitting down to plan. It has become music today has become something that just produce it and then just go and sell it. If so many people want to, the algorithm is telling us what we have to get, what we have to like,
yeah
right? What we have to like is telling you the machine is telling, oh, So many people are listening to this, so it better good. It's good. Then your mind is telling you that it might be true. So if everybody is liking it, 400,000, views and what have you, but we forget about the fact that some of these ones are bots, right?
Yeah,
It is
fair
that is
enough.
rather dealing. The machines are leading us to do that. But I think it's not. It doesn't augur well for the future of music right now until there's a pushback, which I know there's going to be a sort of a pushback, but at what extent, right? But all that you've been saying and we've been saying right here on this program is that if you're an artist, go out there to perform. You make
Hmm.
money out of that because if you want to write music and put it on, and do it the same way that we used to do, you might as well find something else to do.
Hmm.
The only 1% of those who have made it are the ones who are going to make it, right?
Yeah, it's become too easy.
Yeah, yeah, it's become too easy. Um, Folks, we are having this conversation, and we've been saying this all along, and people have not been listening, but I think now they are listening to what we've been saying. I was giving you what qualifies as copyright, but let's come home to Canada, right? Who owns AI generated content in Canada? See,
I
under
don't
the
even know. Yeah, tell me, tell
Copyright
me.
Act, copyright requires a human author that's in Canada.
Okay.
And number two, the work must show skill and judgment. That is a standard set by the Supreme Court of Canada
Okay.
and CCH Canadian Limited versus Law Society of Upper Canada. So you see, in Canada, it's already been decided up there.
Mm.
So it's kind of going to muddy the waters a little bit. And what this means, according to what I have here, is that if AI generates something entirely on its own, it likely has no copyright protection in Canada.
Mm.
That's I'll say it again. If AI generates something entirely on its own, it has no copyright protection in Canada. Number two, if a human meaningfully contributes, that is, editing, selecting, arranging, creatively modifying, those human contributions can be protected.
That
Canada
means
has not yet created special AI copyright.
yeah, that
Mm.
means I could just do the bass track only, and then it's mine. I could just write the lyrics myself, or get Chat GBT to write the lyrics, then stick them into an AI program, and then it's mine because it took the human factor in there to copy and paste it into Suno or something like that. So then it's mine.
Yeah. See,
I've done that before just because I wanted to. And but Suno, who's Suno AI, anybody who's played around with AI stuff knows that name probably. Anyways, yeah, but Suno will write lyrics for you, but I just write them in ChatGPT instead, and then stick them in. So then I guess I have the human content in there, or I might put in this snaps because I wanted snaps and then the human content's there. Perfect. Okay, easy. So that rule really doesn't really mean much, or that law or ruling, I'll say, doesn't really hold a lot
that's right.
because I can break that. I mean, I could just. How can you not say, okay, I did this.
Mm, that's right.
That's me doing that. That's a human in there. Okay, good. Um, I don't know, but people can still put them online. People do still are putting AI songs on.
Mhm.
I think I put one on Spotify just because it was a good song and I just liked it and it was great lyrics. But um, however, I don't even know. I think it has probably less than 10 likes. So people say they love the song, so what? But it's not me. They know it wasn't me because the singing was too good for me.
Yeah.
So I don't. I just this. It's just very frustrating is
Yeah.
what I would find it as. I'm sure glad that I made my money somewhere else than the music industry. Well, I did in a sense because I taught music, but I'm glad I'm trying not trying to make a. I really commend anybody who or I should. It's not even the word I'm looking for. Is I really value artists who are out there trying to do it. Like we had the one that last week, and she's playing guitar and she's trying to write her songs. And hey, great, but I have a feeling. I'm just guessing they're probably still keeping their day jobs because that's not going to earn you a living. Especially like where she's from. I think the Toronto, Montreal area. If it's Montreal is pretty expensive to live in, like all cities in Canada. So you probably have a living, making your living elsewhere, and that's okay. That's good. That's why I went into teaching because it paid half decent. However, I wouldn't put music as being, hey, I'm going to be a musician unless you're really, really hot. And it's still, I mean, I've been talking to a fellow that's just one of the best New York studio guys, and he makes a living doing it because there's still people that require his expertise as a phenomenal player and singer. He's a good singer too. So, and that's good. I'm glad that he can do it. But I bet you starting out today, I wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah. You know, in all of this, what I gather is that Canada does not have AI specific copyright legislation.
Probably not.
Yeah. However, it does allow fair dealing, which is narrower than the US. What is fair dealing?
Yeah, what is that? That's
That's
pretty
right.
vague.
They're talking about research, private study, education, parody, satire, criticism or review, news reporting. That's what it's all about. So it is more confusing the more you look into it. I think we are trying as much as possible to catch up to the legislation, to coming up with something, and it's not working. So they have to come and, as I say, things like that. In essence, they are trying to tell you, hold off, just hold on. We don't know, we don't have anything yet.
Yeah, and I can see why, because it's all new.
Yes, we don't have anything yet. But if you go ahead and do it, you are going to be operated or you are going to be caught under the old rules.
Yeah.
So you just cannot go out there and then use Taylor Swift's stuff and do it just because you feel this is what you can do. You can do it.
Hmm.
Now our advice is that just go out there, perform. There's one artist that I admire so much. She's from I think she's from Senegal. She's a solo artist, Maria Siga. Maria, if you're listening to me, I appreciate you and I love what she's doing. Solo artist. She goes out there, she tours,
Yeah,
right?
good.
Yeah, she tours. And I think what it will boil down to will be, well, you go out there to perform, get your merch, right? Record your stuff on CD, go back to your CD stuff. Go
Yeah.
back there, sign it, just after the show, just do your autograph signing and all those kind of stuff. We did it. Every
Hmm.
venue, we had boxes. Management had boxes upon boxes of CDs. We made a lot more money. In addition to whatever contract that we had, I think we have
Hmm.
to look at that and go back as artists before everything settles. But if you're going to rely on the fact that, okay, I'm going to put it on Spotify, I'm going to put it on any other platform, I'm going to put it, man, forget about it.
Yeah,
Because
I agree.
even if you're going to have 600,000 views or what have you, it's going to pay you 10 cents. So
Yeah.
you might as well do that. Form your groups, get together. Even if you can go into clubs, little clubs, just
Hmm.
go there. Because I
Yeah.
would say that if you go there and then you have 50 people, mind you, are not playing for 50 people. You're playing for about 150 because the 50, they are going to tell others that's
Yeah.
right. And you
Hmm.
make, honestly,
Yep.
they say little drops of water makes the mighty ocean. And that is exactly where we're going right now. So I hope you are listening to what we've been saying for about a year and a half here, and we've been, you know, discussing this. And I hope as artists we know what it takes, where we are right now. That's why we bring it out here. But I think it's falling on people. I've been talking to people and said, "Man, you guys have been discussing this, and I never thought about it. I never ever thought about what is going." And so when I see something I share to musicians that I know, artists that I know, they come back to say, "Oh my God, I didn't know. This is crazy. I didn't know that."
Yeah.
Because our fraternity is fractured.
Yeah.
Is
Okay.
fractured. Everybody is on its own, and even among the same genre, they don't discuss things among themselves. It's like each one for himself, God for us. Or if I make a hit, yeah, it's me.
Hmm.
We don't think in a collective. That is where we are right now, Ron. Your part.
Yeah. How can I disagree with any of that? You're absolutely spot on. Um, have been talking about it for a while. It almost gets redundant in some ways because it just keeps changing day after day after day. It's like it's constantly under a change. And I think that one thing will never I'm going to say this is in a way of saying, and something I'm going to sound so redundant that because I just say play an instrument, learn to play an instrument because you'll have that for the rest of your life. You can play it, and when you're, I'm still, I'm some age, and I've been playing since I was, about 8 years old. And I've been playing the guitar since I was sometime in my teens. And I'm going to play that to my 90s if I make it that long, because it gives me joy to play that. I was sitting on the couch last night. We were watching the Olympics, and I'm playing my guitar because it was just something to do with my hands and enjoy and practicing exercises. It sounds so boring, but it brought me a lot more comfort than it would be sitting in a studio writing songs that I don't even know if anybody's ever going to hear. But at least I knew that at the time that, hey, I knew of a gig coming up and I'm going to have to be, a little bit sharp for it. So I'm going to have to know the chops. Uh, so it gave me reason to practice. I don't even need it. I just do it because I want to get better. Just
Right.
constantly want to get better at it. And that might be like writing for you, but right now writing's in such a, I don't know, and out limbo. It's in limbo. That's where I would put songwriting right now is in limbo. Is people don't know what to do with it because why? But I don't know. I'm still thinking about buying another bass, just because I would want to try a six string instead of a five and a four. So, it's just things that, but that'll bring me joy.
Yeah.
Whereas for songwriting, I just think it's just, yeah, it's just too easy. But I'll tell you, if I get a six string, if I do, I'm gonna have to do a lot of learning, and I love learning, folks. That's the one thing I do love about music is there's no end to learning, no end, and you can keep doing it. And I can't tell you how much joy it'll bring to you to learn to sing or to learn to play an instrument. Um, that songwriting to me right now can't do for me anyways. It's just one of those things that and I mean, listen to the theme song that I wrote for this nation. That's a pretty good song, but it didn't take long to do it. It took me about 10 minutes. If I tried to put that together, I mean, it's a pretty good recording. It's a pretty good song,
Oh yeah. Oh
but
yeah.
that should have taken that song in a studio would have taken a month because
Oh yeah.
I mean, if it was
Oh yes.
yeah,
Oh. Oh yeah.
yeah, it's got some groove to it. It's got some different guitar parts. It's got great harmonies to it. And but we're not willing to. If you're not willing to do that, it's not going to bring. I don't know. It just doesn't bring me any satisfaction. I have a keyboard sitting right here in front of me, and I mean, I I can play it, but it's just I'm kind of going. I'd rather be out in front of people and playing it, and you know, than I would to be sitting, I don't know, behind my computer looking at a screen.
That's right. That's right. Well,
I know. I'm glad I can make you laugh about all this, but it's my
yeah,
feeling on
you're
things.
right. You're right, and I'm very like you and I and Petra. We are very passionate about this. It's
Hmm.
not all about. just coming here to have conversations with artists and stuff like that, but just to impart what we sort of we do behind the scenes, listening and then watching and reading about what others are thinking, and then putting our minds together to share with you, the listeners out there. But then, by so saying, in Canada, to those artists in Canada, you can generally sell AI assisted content, right? You can commercialize it, license it. That would be my advice. But
Mhm.
there's a big but there. Pure AI output may not be exclusively protected. Others might legally reuse similar AI generated material. You may remain responsible for infringement. So, before they enact any legislation, be careful. Just be careful. Don't think, oh, AI is there, so I'm just going to blah, 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 and then use somebody else. No, no, no. Relax, because we are in a transitionary sort of space that needs to be streamlined before we do anything. By the way, Ron, next week is going to be very interesting. We're going to have a star, one of the surviving members of, yes,
Oh, no.
one of
Oh,
the
sorry.
members of the super group Third World. Third World, the super
Mm,
reggae group. Willie Stewart is going to be in the studio with us. We are going to
good.
see how they came up with their brand of reggae, and it seems all of them are gone,
Mm,
all going. He's the only one remaining who is right now performing. Actually,
hmm.
I had a conversation with him before he emplaned from the United States to Jamaica to bury one of them, who was buried, I think, on Wednesday.
Was that
So
cat or something?
Cat, yeah, Cat. Cat was
Hmm.
such that was a
Hmm.
super group. So, folks, join us again next week, where we will have a very interesting conversation, as we normally and always do, right here on Love the Afrobeat Music Talk Radio, your number one African Caribbean online radio, Highway 6 to Africa. Yes, we're signing off. We see you
Juno night
next
and
week.
day, shining right on through. Every melody she sings feels like something new. Ooh, painting every moment in a brighter hue. On Highway 6, we're riding tonight. Love Bay Radio, we're feeling alive. Turn the dial up, let the music hit. Toronto in the groove on Highway 6. And Ron's in the studio, shaping dream to send a sound out of pen, steady beats deep and profound producer with a vision,
Yes,
always
ladies and
holding
gentlemen,
it
boys and
down.
girls,
He's the
this song
quiet
was
heartbeat, the shaking the
written
ground.
by Ram
On
right
Highway
now.
6, we're
Woo!
riding tonight. Love Bay Radio, we're feeling alive. Turn the dial up, let the music hit. Toronto in the groove on Highway
Highway
6,
6.
on Highway 6.
We'll see you again next week.
Turn the
4 p.m.
dial
Eastern
up, let
Standard
the
Time,
music hit.
right?
Toronto in the
In the
groove
groove
on
on
Highway
Highway
6.
6.
Woo! Woo! Bye bye, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next week.
Next week, folks. Take care.